this clip while we're on it with DOGE. Go to the clip where Trump says he's weighing giving 20% of the DOGE savings to Americans. Okay? So, folks, this is kind of weird because they're saying if we find the amount of fraud that we find that you paid money into it, they want to give you 20% of it.
I want it.
Okay? They want to give you 20% of it. Is this the clip, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Watch this clip here, folks.
Sir, Elon Musk is proposing potentially giving money to Americans based on what DOGE is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
Pat,
So-
what are we going to do about the deficit? Well, you tell me. You're a business guy.
About the deficit?
$36 trillion.
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say this, and then I'll give you my answer. Because I'm going to come to you
thinking
first.
about this because we should pay it off.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So I like where you went. By the way, you went straight to a person taking care of their fine. Hey, we're getting a big return. Let's buy Xbox. Let's buy video games.
Let's pay off the
pay
debt.
off the debt. Yes,
Yeah.
you're thinking the right way, Tom.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this?
Well, I think this is a great idea. And unlike the government that was sending us relief checks during COVID, and some people were getting checks that didn't really need them or deserve them, you notice what they said here. To all tax-paying units, married filing jointly, $5,000. Individual, $5,000. And they were very specific about it in the follow-up. And I think this is a great idea because it sends a message to America. This was your money, and it's coming back to you because we found out where it went, and we're going to rebate you. It's a message to America. People say it's buying votes. No, it's not. He's in his second term. People say, "Oh, you're trying to stimulate the economy because you're not going to have double Social Security checks going out to people, and those double checks can't buy goods and services. So we're in a risk of recession if too much DOGE." Because that's one of the arguments, right? We could have a recession if DOGE finds a lot of money that we're flowing illicitly to citizens running scams, and all of a sudden that money stops buying plane tickets, Disneyland, booze, all these things.
That's a tricky argument.
It's a very tricky argument, but it's an argument that's being made.
Yeah.
No, you could cause a recession. Let people commit fraud. And I look at it and say, wait a minute. I think this is a positive message for the American. The second part I look at is I'm ready for Chapter 2, and I don't think we can debate it, we can suppose, but Chapter 2 is going to be, okay, what is some long-term deficit to get closer to a balanced budget, and what is the long-term now pay down that debt? And we got an awful lot of oil, and we're about to be the number one oil producer in the world. If we aren't already, we are based on a projected reserve basis, and we could be just having extraction taxes on our own oil, and that tax goes back to paying down our debt. There's a lot of ways it could go in there to paying it down. But to your first question, Pat, I love this. It sends the right message to America. It was your money. It was wasteful, and here's some coming back to you.
Yeah.
You want me to give my thoughts on
Yeah.
this? Okay. So I think this is one of the scariest things for Democrats if they pull this off.
Really?
And I'll explain to you why.
Yeah.
When I first was part of this insurance company, I wanted to find a way to participate in the long term of the company. I wanted equity. Nobody wanted equity. I wanted equity because I wanted to go 20 years. I'm like, dude, I want equity on the company. If we make it multi-billion dollars, I want to participate in equity. Like, no, we're not doing that. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I'd like to participate in that. We like that. We like that. You own a piece of stock options. You own the company. If it grows, I'm going to get a check. Like my guys right now, some of the checks that the guys get from the insurance company, they're like, what the hell is this? This is part of what happens when the company makes profits. Okay. Yeah. To shift the thinking of a country, if you shift the thinking and say every time we find wasted money, we're sending you percentage, you have the entire country supporting you.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you understand what happened
That's
right there?
so true.
Because what you're now doing is you're revolutionizing the freaking game. Do you know what the opponent can do? When this may be one of the scariest. You know when he said, "No taxes on tips." I hate this guy, but I'll vote for him. No taxes on tips. Yeah, but you know what this is? This is no taxes on tips, on steroids, growth hormone, TRT, add whatever the hell you want to put on top.
Yeah.
Every single thing on top of that, that's what this is.
Right, but now let me ask you this. There seems to be a divide philosophically. One side says the only way to get rid of the deficit is to tax. But free market people say, hold on, bro, tax, give me the money so I can stimulate the economy.
That's
right.
That's right.
And then you'll be able to have a wider tax base, and then we can pay it off.
Yeah, look,
I don't know.
Do you have friends or relatives that no matter how much money you give them, they're always going to come back for more money?
Come on. It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. You were broke at 50 grand, you were broke at 80 grand, and now you're broke at 120 grand. It's not about how much money you make. Your mindset sucks,
yes.
okay, when it comes down to money.
Yes.
And you don't want to admit it. So no matter what, those people, they're always going to have the financial difficulties. But if you get the country sitting there saying, hey, did you hear about what happened? What happened? What did I find? Find some more fraud. They just saved us another $3.8 trillion. They just got $600 billion.
Yeah.
They were getting another $3,800 check. Woo. Awesome. That's great. We're finding more fraud. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, my
God. Do you realize what that
That's
means?
exactly right, man. Yeah.